Hi and welcome. This is Yoga for All. My name is Lianna and I will be leading the practice today. So whether you're practicing in the morning, the afternoon, or the evening, welcome. We're going to start off in a seat on our mat. And so take your place wherever you are, wherever your mat is. You can cross the legs as I am doing here in our easy seated pose. Everyone is at a different level, different space of experience and practice. So find a seat that works. Doesn't have to be crossing the legs. It can be something else. Something that allows you to sit in stillness and to start to notice the breath and notice the physical body. The eyes might close right away or stay open for a little bit. Notice the ground rising up to support us. Under the seat, we connect to the earth. We connect with gravity. Take a breath in. And breathe out through the mouth. Breathe in. And breathe it out. Breath in. And out. And then let the eyes start to find a place to focus, or the eyelids might grow heavier as the upper eyelid connects to the bottom. Notice how the breath wants to come through here. So we're coming to stillness, coming to a place of inner silence or quietness to our best ability for our practice. We do this so that we can focus on why we're here. And if we're not sure, if we don't have a reason for practicing or anything specific, maybe doesn't come through right away. Maybe we're just here to experience the body in connection to the breath, and the body and breath in connection to the mind, and the mind in connection to how we're feeling, and all of that in connection to our intuition, how we make decisions, the things that we long for, how we move towards them. And we determine whether or not we should be moving towards them. Or maybe we are on a different path. Maybe the path itself adjusts and changes. There can be so many reasons for us being here. It can be related to a relationship. It can be related to something that's happened. It can be related to our jobs. It can be related to a memory we have. All of it, everything that comes through is valid. Breathe in and breathe out through the nose. Breath in through the nose. Breath out through the nose. Breath in. And breath out. Notice where the breath wants to originate, where it does originate. Do we feel it between the ribs, starting at the lungs and going back to the lungs? Does it expand and travel outwards as we inhale? Does it lift up the spine a little bit taller? And as we exhale, does it come back to center, that space between the ribs, and down into the earth to ground us? Inhale. Exhale. Breath in. Breath out. Take your time to practice a couple more breaths on your own. It doesn't have to be anything specific. It's just your breath as you naturally breathe, as you want to breathe, as you're exploring your breath. Let that breath be with you. Let the body work with it, however it's coming through, even if there's uncertainty or a level of movement, a level of wanting to move in stillness. That's okay. We'll all make our way over and around into tabletop from here. Continue to breathe. Continue to draw in long inhales and let out long exhales. Making your way over to tabletop, we have the tops of the feet resting. Hips are over the knees. We press into the hands to almost lead to that engagement of the core muscles, the abdominals. The spine is long, so the tailbone is reaching straight back behind. The spine has its natural curve, and the neck is an extension of the spine, and we're gazing down towards the mat. Let's pick up the left hand and just rotate that left hand around on the wrists, bend into the fingers, and lower that left hand, pick up the right hand, do the same thing on the right side. And then pick up the left hand, and we're gonna kind of flip the hand over so the tops of the fingers and the knuckles rest as the fingertips point back towards us, and we're just stretching the wrist in the other direction, using the right hand for support, still widening through the shoulder blades. Whatever, turn that left hand back to its original position in our table, and do the same thing on the other side. We'll just flip the hand over the right. Let the tops of the fingers rest and the knuckles, the fingertips of the right hand point back towards us. We're just stretching the wrist in the other direction. From our tabletop, go ahead and extend the left leg straight back behind you. Toes rest on the mat. Press into the heel of the left foot. Pick up that left foot from the ground and just send the left leg out a little wider, and then inhale it back to center. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale, extend left leg long, toes point towards the mat. The left leg doesn't lift much higher than the rest of the body, so that left hip is in line with the right hip. Exhale, send the left leg out wide. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale, left leg reaches back. Exhale, left leg reaches out as wide as it's accessible. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Plant the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Let's tuck the toes on the right foot. Lift that back knee. And we might slide the right foot a little further back behind us. And then start to bend into the right leg and step the right foot to the outside edge of the right hand. Wide leg, forward fold. Find opposite elbows. Let the upper body sway side to side. Breath in and out. Reach the fingertips towards the ground. Heel toe the feet under the hips. Inhale up, halfway lift. Hands rest just in front of the shins or on the front of the shins, below the knees. Exhale to fold. You might wrap the arms gently around the backs of the knees. Shake the head yes. Shake the head no. Release the fingertips in front of the feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. This time, root into the feet. Inhale to stand all the way up. Reach the arms up overhead. Slight back bend just for a breath. Exhale, hands to heart. Roll the shoulders around. And keep breathing. Inhale, both arms reach up. Exhale, drop the left hand down along the left side of the body. Reach the right fingertips over to the left. So side bend to the left. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, right arm drops along the right side body. Left fingertips reach over to the right. Side bend to the right. Both feet still planted. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Arms drop alongside us. And we'll just rotate side to side. Finding a little bit of a gentle twist here, opening up the spine in a different way. Use the arms as momentum as we twist side to side. And you might even tap the sides of the body with the hands, with the arms as you move from each side. And we'll meet back at center as we slow down that movement. Both arms reach up. Exhale to fold down over the legs. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, let's plant the hands and we'll step the left foot straight back behind us. Both hands to the inside of that front right foot. Breathe here. And then let's lower the left knee down, and you can adjust it so that left knee's under the left hip. And we'll send the right leg straight back behind us. Toes point towards the earth. Exhale, let's reach that right leg out wide to the right, and then inhale to center. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale, right leg reaches straight back. Exhale, right leg out wide to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Still engaging through the core and lifting yourself up, broadening through the shoulders. Inhale, center. Exhale, right leg out wide to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. We'll send that leg straight back this time. Lower the toes of the right foot to the ground. Stretch into the heel of that right foot. And let's meet in table. Open the knees wide, connect the big toes. Reach the arms out long in front. Child's pose or Balasana in Sanskrit. What do we notice on the physical layer of the body? Are we noticing the bones, the tissues? How do the muscles feel? How's the blood flowing? As we notice the lungs, we notice the energy center of the body. How does the energy feel today? And what thoughts accompany the physical layer, the energetic layer? How are we feeling? What are we feeling? Can we name it? Can we identify a part of the body where it lives? Inhale to rise up, table. This time, exhale, tuck our toes, hips go up and back, downward facing dog or Adho Mukha Svanasana. And we'll breathe here. And you can drop the heels a little closer towards the earth to again stretch into the backs of the legs. Walk the feet out to the edges of our yoga mat. And then walk the feet up towards the hands. Find that wide leg forward fold as we come to the top edge of our mat. Find opposite elbows and let the upper body sway side to side. Reach the hands back towards the ground. Heel toe the feet under the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to stand up. Exhale to release back down over the legs. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, plant the hands. Walk the feet wide, and then one at a time, we'll step and walk the feet back for downward facing dog. Walk the feet back in so that they're in line with the hips. Inhale, lift up onto our tiptoes. Exhale, bend the knees. Step the right foot forward between the hands. Lower that back knee, reach the arms forward, reach the arms up. Crescent lunge variation. Exhale to frame this front foot. Tuck the toes, lift that back knee. Step left foot to meet the right, forward fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand. Exhale to fold back down over the legs. Halfway lift. Plant our hands. This time we'll step the right foot straight back behind us. Lower that back knee. Reach the arms forward. Reach the arms up. Lie back. Exhale. Frame this front foot. Tuck the toes. Lift that back knee. We're going to step left foot back to meet the right. High plank. Top of a push-up. Lower the knees. Lower halfway. Hug the elbows in close to the ribs. Inhale. Pull yourself forward. Through and up, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's lower the knees. Tabletop. Walk the hands forward. Arms extend long. Chin releases to the mat or forehead releases to the mat for heart melting. Breathe here. Notice how the breath wants to come through. We simply have to listen and go along with what the body is bringing forward. We don't have to force anything to happen. We don't have to try very hard. Inhale, lift up into table. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, up onto our tiptoes. Exhale, bend the knees. Step the right foot forward. Lower that back knee. Untuck the toes. Reach the arms up. Crescent lunge. Exhale, frame our front foot. Tuck the toes. Lift the back knee. Step left foot to meet the right, forward fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand. Exhale, fold back down. Halfway lift. Plant the hands, step the right foot back, release that back knee, and that crescent lunge, reach the arms up. Frame this front foot, tuck the toes, lift that back knee, step left foot back to meet the right, high plank. Lower down to the knees. Hug the elbows in after you exhale. Inhale, pull yourself forward through and up, cobra. Exhale, tuck our toes, hips go up and back. Downward facing dog. And then let's walk the feet to the hands at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand up. Hands at heart. Let the arms rest alongside the body. Find the feet at about hip distance and breathe. Close down the eyes. And you might even come back to that space or notice a new space compared to where we first began our practice. Has it been accentuated? Has it shifted or changed? Do you feel as though you can be here in this moment, just as you are? And bring the hands to heart. Open up the eyes. Take as many steps as you need. Look down at the mat. Find a point to focus on, even out in front of you, as we step the left foot back to crescent lunge with that back knee lifted. So we first start by shifting the weight to the right leg, maybe even floating this left leg out in front of us at that 90-degree angle, 90-degree shape. And then we float as we lean forward, that left foot back behind us, but that back heel is lifted. And I know that can feel uncertain and unstable. So let's walk the feet a little wider. Have a slight bend through that back knee, front knee over front heel. Reach the arms up, crescent lunge with the back knee lifted. Find your breath. And let's just turn to look towards the right. Inhale, gaze to center. Exhale, turn the gaze to look towards the left. We're just exploring movement with the neck. Wiggle the fingers, bend into the fingers, and then re-straighten the fingers. And then we lift the hips a little higher so that we can adjust this back foot down at an angle. So we're no longer in crescent lunge, now we're in warrior one. Arms still reaching up. Take a couple breaths here. Find the support of the earth. Just like we felt the earth under our feet at the beginning of our practice, we feel the earth under our feet here. And we just have to work to engage and to lift in a little bit of a different way here because we're standing. Let's connect the hands in our Anjali Mudra, heart center. Find a little bit of space between the palms. Notice the energy and breathe. So we have just about an inch or less of space between the palms. Can we feel the heat? Can we feel the energy between the hands? Can we still stabilize ourselves in our warrior one legs? Continue to breathe. In and out through the nose, and any exhales through the mouth is fine. You can leave the legs as they are or bring them to a little bit of a narrower stance with the right foot coming to center and that back foot turning so it's parallel with the back edge of your mat. The right arm reaches forward, left arm reaches back, warrior two. We gaze towards that extended right hand, right arm. That is our drishti, or focal point. Roll the shoulders a couple times, up, back, and down here. Have a slight bend through the elbows so the shoulders can rest a little more easily down away from the ears. Continue to breathe. Flip our front palm and then start to shift the left arm down the left leg or wrap it around the waist. Turn the gaze to look over the left shoulder. Reach that right arm up and over for reverse warrior. Still making sure to send that right leg out wide to the right. Continue to breathe. Inhale, warrior two. And then straighten this front leg. Turn that front foot so it's parallel with the top and the back edge. We might have to step the feet so that they're even with one another. 5-pointed star, arms lift up a little higher than the shoulders, palms face forward. Exhale, hands at heart, or hands at hips. Maybe they came through the heart. And then using the hands, we'll start to float the thumbs up so that we encourage this hinging at the hips as we find our way forward and through into wide leg forward fold. Hands reach for the earth or for the ankles or feet. Let's start to bend into the left leg and then lower the body down towards the left. With that right leg still extended, let's point the toes of the right foot up towards the ceiling, towards the sky. And we might be on the ball or the toes of this left foot underneath of us. And we can play around with balance by floating the fingertips away from the ground. You may even bring the hands to heart. And then we'll frame this left knee. Inhale up to center, exhale over to the other side. So to the right, float onto the toes or the ball of the right foot, point the toes of the left foot up towards the ceiling. Play around with balance. And if you lose your balance, that's okay too. Continue to breathe. In and out as you need to. And as you can see, we might fall. That's okay. So we make our way back up to center to our best ability. Wide leg, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale to fold. Let's point the right toes towards the top of the mat. Walk the hands all the way over towards the right. Come onto the toes of the back foot. Lower that back, left knee, and tuck the toes. Open up that right knee and leg a little wider to the right. Onto the pinky side edge of the right foot. And breathe. In our lizard lunge, lizard shape. You might even lower to the forearms after a couple breaths. Let's release the sole of the right foot to the mat. Frame this front foot. Plant the left hand to the inside of the right foot. Right hand rests on the right knee as we twist open towards the right. So we're twisting towards this front leg. Right arm might extend up towards the sky or tuck back around the waist. How is your relationship with the ground here, with the breath, with the thoughts coming through? Inhale, right arm reaches up. Exhale, frame this front foot, tuck the toes, lift this back knee. Let's step back to high plank, top of a push-up. This time, we can keep the knees lifted if you want, and we'll lower halfway as we hug the elbows in, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog as we untuck the toes, rest the tops of the feet, and open the heart forward and up. Heart opener, back bend. Exhale, up and back. Downward facing dog. Sway the hips side to side. Lower the knees, open the knees wide, child's pose. Seat rest towards the heels. Arms stretch forward. And you could rock the forehead side to side on your mat. Inhale, rise up table. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Tiptoe the feet to the hands at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand up. Mountain pose, hands at heart and then alongside the body. Take your time. Coming from the ground to standing can make the blood kind of rush from the head. So it can give us this lightheaded feeling. So take your time. Do what you need to so that you can be here standing at the top of our mat. We'll bring the hands to heart in our Anjali Mudra so that we're aligning with our center of gravity, our central line, our balance. And so this time, let's start to float the right leg out in front, maybe at a 90-degree angle. Start to lean forward and then step this right foot back. We connect the toes and the ball of that right foot to the ground. You can widen the stance in our crescent lunge, legs. Arms reach up for a full crescent lunge. Lower that back knee at any point and breathe. And pay attention to what the legs are doing in connection with the feet. Are we stable through the legs? Can we send this left knee a little wider to the left? Can we have a slight bend through that back right leg? Lift up just a little bit higher so we can step this right foot down at an angle. Warrior one, hips are still facing forward, just like in our crescent lunge for our best stability. As always, keep breathing. And can we engage the muscles so that we can lift up a little bit taller with each inhale? And with each exhale, can we find the sturdiness of the ground? Connect the hands at heart. Feel that space between the palms as we separate the hands just an inch or so, not even a couple inches from one another. Feel that energy building, the energy and magic that we all have within us. Find your warrior two as you send the left arm forward, adjust that back foot down so it's parallel with the back edge. Right arm reaches back, bend into that front left leg, gaze towards that front left hand. Lower the right arm down the right leg, flip the palm of the left hand, reach the left arm up and over, turn the gaze to look over the right shoulder for our reverse warrior, but make it more of a side bend than a back bend here. And then let's inhale, extend out, warrior two once again. Wide legs, stance as we point both sets of feet towards the right edge of our yoga mat. Arms lift up a little higher, palms face forward for 5-pointed star. And we're breathing. Hands connect to hips, elbows out wide, start to hinge at the hips. And forward fold over the legs. You can walk the feet a little wider. You can reach the hands to the ground, to the legs or the ankles, or even walk the hands back underneath of you, back behind you. Bring the hands back underneath of the body, heel to the feet in a little closer. And let's bend into our right leg. And we'll kind of kneel onto the right leg as that left leg extends out long and wide to the left. Toes of the left foot point up towards the ceiling. And we can play around with our balance. Use wall support if you have it here. Inhale up to center, wide leg, forward fold. Exhale over to the left, straighten through the right leg. Play around with your balance. And inhale up, wide leg forward fold, walk the hands to the left foot, spin the left toes forward and right toes forward. Lower that back knee, untuck the toes. Both hands to the inside of the front left foot. Lizard lunge here. Do the same thing you found on the other side or do something different. So we spend time in the asanas and the shapes as a way of honoring the practice, honoring the poses. The yoga practice is thousands of years old. And the way we practice in our modern practice might differ from what it was thousands of years ago, but it's still based in this practice that came to us from India. It's not ours as white people to claim as ours if that's not our heritage, or even any other heritage. If we're South Asian, we might identify with it. If you're South Asian, you might identify with it. Not we, because I'm not South Asian. And I practice yoga as an honoring, but I do not claim it as my own thing. And I recognize that what I teach comes from my teachers and comes from the books that I read. Still breathing in our lizard lunge here. Feeling into the left hip. Let's go ahead and start to frame this front left foot. Walk that left foot in so it's under the left knee. Right hand to the inside of the left foot, left hand to the left knee. Let's twist open towards the left. Left arm reaches up or tucks around behind the back. And then both hands frame this front foot. Tuck the toes, lift that back knee. Step back, high plank, top of a push-up. And then let's lower halfway from here. Elbows tuck in close. Inhale, upward facing dog. And let's exhale to a child's pose. Move the hands around on the wrists, bend into the fingers. You can even connect the palms behind the back of the head as the fingertips point up towards the ceiling. Continue to breathe. Let's inhale to rise up into our Virasana, seat resting on the heels. Shift the seat to one side or the other so the feet can come out from underneath. Send the legs long on our mat. Shake out the knees. Connect the soles of the feet. Bring the heels in a little bit closer to the body. Wiggle the seat around. And let's flap the legs like wings of a butterfly here. Up and down for a few breaths. Releasing anything out that was maybe still being held on to even after our lizard lunge. Extend the left leg out wide to the left. You can be off of your yoga mat. You can adjust yourself so this left leg is resting on your yoga mat. So you might even be kind of more so facing towards the right edge of your yoga mat with the upper body. Let's reach the left hand towards the left foot. You might even hook the fingertips to the bottom of the left foot or the pinky side edge. Bring the right hand to rest on the energetic heart center, so just below the collarbones, and reach the right arm out wide to the right. Reach that right arm up and over the right ear. And then carefully lower the fingertips of the right hand towards the ground. We'll release the left hand from the left foot. We'll frame this left leg with both hands and let the upper body release towards the left leg. You can continue to inch the fingertips forward towards the left foot. Keep breathing. Inhale to walk the hands back up towards the body, reach the left hand to the right knee and twist open towards the right. So right fingertips are back behind us. Inhale, turn the upper body around to face back to center. Plant the hands back behind so you can straighten through the right leg, and then we'll plant both feet to the edges of the mat and just sway the knees side to side as the hands rest back behind us. Let's find the other side for that seated practice. We'll send the right leg out long on our mat, sole of the left foot to the inner right thigh. Sit up tall through the spine, take a breath in. Exhale, reach the right hand towards the right foot. Long through the spine, wide through the shoulders. Left hand rests on the energetic heart center. Inhale, extend that left arm out wide to the left. Reach that left arm up and over the left ear. And then carefully reach the left fingertips to the inside of the calf. And release the right hand from the right foot. Adjust the upper body and turn it ever so slightly and sweetly towards the front right leg. And we'll lower the upper body towards the right leg. Not forcing anything here. Always breathing as it wants to come through. Noticing differences on the sides of the body. Breath in and out. Inhale to inch the fingertips back towards the body as we lift up tall through the spine. Right hand to the left knee, left hand back behind the tailbone as we twist to the left. Inhale, turn yourself back around to center. Use the hands to support back behind you so you can plant both feet out in front of you. Reach the arms out wide alongside the legs. And start to round in the low back, to engage through the abdominals, to guide ourselves onto our back slowly. Lower the back of the head to the mat. We'll send the legs long in front of us. Go ahead and plant the feet, sway the knees side to side. And you might even pause on one side and just kind of notice how the outside edge of the hip, kind of where that hip pointer is on the front of the body feels. When you drop the knees to one side or the other, use the arms as support. The palms might lay face down beyond the edges of your yoga mat. You might also feel into the glutes in the seat as you move from side to side, swaying the knees. Back at center, bring both knees in towards the front of the body. And we'll rock side to side in a different way. We'll feel into the back of the hips and the sacrum and even up into the spine. Send the legs up overhead. Reach the hands towards the backs of the thighs or backs of the knees and start to lift the upper body away from the ground. Walk the hands up. Kind of a legs in the air, forward fold, and breathe. Working with gravity a little differently so we don't go quite as close to the legs as we might normally in a forward fold, and that's okay. And then slide the hands down the legs, release the back of the head to the mat. You can keep the hands on the backs of the legs for legs in the air, or arms can rest alongside of us. Breathe. You might even notice a swaying motion in the legs, side to side. And let's bring that right knee in towards the front of the body. And carefully, you can use the left hand to extend this left leg out wide to the left. It might not, it probably won't reach the ground. Inhale, reach that left leg out to center. Exhale, left knee in towards the front of the ribs. We'll send the right leg up. So left leg rests on the front of the shin of the left leg. The left hand is there. Right hand on the outside edge of the right thigh. Send the right leg out wide to the right. Use the space you have to your benefit. I have some wall space, so I'm gonna rest my foot on the wall. If you have more space on the right side, still that right leg might not release. It probably won't release all the way to the ground. That's okay, that's normal. Breathing here. Inhale, right leg up to center. Exhale, knee in towards the front of the body. And then we can stay here with legs in the air as we re-extend the legs up overhead, or you can start to make your way towards a shoulder stand. You can kind of float the legs up overhead and start to roll yourself forward and back on your mat. Make sure that you have enough space, you're not gonna run into a wall or anything. And then when the legs start to kind of reach back behind you, you can rest the hands on the backs of the hips and start to send the legs up overhead for shoulder stand. Keep breathing. You can keep walking the hands up the back. Keep the head very still here. Don't move or look around. Keep breathing. To come out of our shoulder stand, we'll start to send the legs back behind us once again for plow pose, legs hovering up overhead, hands still supporting the sacrum or the hips. And then we'll use the hands to guide the back of the hips to the ground, legs in the air. We'll all bring the knees in towards the ribs. Plant the feet. And adjusting on your mat as you need. Connect the soles of the feet, open the knees wide. Let the hands rest on the ribs, the outside edges of the ribs or the front of the ribs, just kind of in our solar plexus region. Come back to the breath. Our breath has been working its way through us this whole time. Maybe we thought about it here and there, but we probably also didn't have to do too much to notice it. And that's the beauty of our breath and being alive in these human bodies, is that we don't have to do so much to breathe unless we have something medically going on in our body. Unless we have something about the way our body just functions as it is. It doesn't have to be wrong. And I apologize for using that term. There's nothing wrong. Everything has a purpose and it's a part of the process. And we can be upset about any of it. We can mourn any of it. As long as we don't get stuck there or stay there for too long. We acknowledge, we see, we be with, and then we move forward. So we'll rest here for Shavasana. You can extend the leg long in front of you. You could let the arms rest alongside the body with the palms face up. You might even rock the head side to side a couple of times before coming to stillness. Resting here. Eyes closed, body heavy, breath soft. Seeing thoughts, acknowledging them, giving them space, and being who you are as you are in this moment. When we start to see answers, maybe in the form of questions, we start to wonder, we start to notice the body through our senses a little differently. We might start to pay attention to the things that seem insignificant and give more space to those areas of our lives. Breathe in to the nose and let it out through the mouth. You can make a sound with the throat. Inhale through the nose. And once again, in and out. And we might even open the eyes here, take in some light. Move the arms and the legs, move the head, wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Make your way to the right or left side body and move into a seat from there, or move into a seat from your back. You don't have to turn to one side of the body or the other. Whatever feels like you're taking your time. Whichever way makes you feel as though you're slowing down time. Once we make our way to our seats, we'll close down the eyes once again or find that point to focus on. Hands connect in our Anjali Mudra, hand position at the heart center for healing. Have a little bit of space, a little sliver space between the palms, between the pads of the fingers. Take that energy with you. Come back to it as you need it, when you need it. It can be while you're working, while you're exercising, while you're communicating with somebody, you're working on a project, even just sitting and being. We can take that energy and be with it. It can come with us. We can feel exactly as we feel now at all moments in our lives if we just choose to notice and acknowledge. We'll take it one Om, the sacred sound, the sound from which everything else originates. To end our practice, breathe in. And I end our practice with be well and thank you. Opening the eyes, taking it all in, connect the palms, and breathe. And so that concludes our practice, whether it's the morning for you, the afternoon, or the evening, or nighttime, whatever time of day it is. Thank you so much for practicing. Thank you for dedicating time to be here and to be curious about yourself. As always, if there's any questions, reach out. I'm on Instagram. You can find me at my name, Lianna_Ankney. So it's LIANNA_ANKNEY. Also, you can email me. It's just my name @gmail.com, and there's a period separating. So please reach out. I'm here to communicate. I'm here to talk, especially in regards to our yoga practice. So I will see you next week.